Hello and namaskar my dear students. Today I am back with the another video. It is the continuation of the chapter 1, that is the reproduction in organisms. In my previous video I talked about the reproduction, some events and some points about the sexual reproduction, and also I taken the pre-fertilization events. I will talked about the gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Now in this video I include the fertilization events and also the pre-fertilization events. Both. Let's start with the fertilization. So now what is the term fertilization mean? Is the most vital event of sexual reproduction. Is perhaps the fusion of gametes. This process called the fertilization, or you can say syngamy. Both terms are used for this process, syngamy or fertilization, right? What I told you, that it is the most vital event of sexual reproduction, not asexual reproduction, because in asexual reproduction gametes are not formed, so there are no fusion of any sex cells because there is no sex cells, right? But in sexual reproduction there is the formation of the sex cells that are gametes, and these gametes fuse further to each other, and this event is called the fertilization, or you can say syngamy, right? It is easily understandable if we are talking about the humans, right? That the sperms and the egg cells are fused in the oviduct of female reproductive system. This process is known as the fertilization. Okay? And the result of this fertilization process is that the formation of the zygote. Right? You have to remember that it is the event, it is the phase in which the male gamete and the female gamete will fuse, or the sex cells fusion, right? Okay. There is another one mechanism, that is the parthenogenesis. So what is parthenogenesis? In some animals, the female gamete undergoes the development to form new organisms without fertilization. This phenomena is called the parthenogenesis. What I told, that in some organisms the female gamete is undergo the process of development and will form a new organism without the involvement of the event, that is the fertilization. Here the fertilization is not involved. What I want to tell you, that there is one female gamete that is undergo the development process and that then form the new organism. Here the no fusion of any gametes. Okay? This phenomena is known as the parthenogenesis. There are some examples of the parthenogenesis, like the honeybee, rotifor, some lizards, birds, etc. And yeah, there is one very famous story about the honeybees, right? I don't tell you in detail, but it is the very good example for understand the mechanism of the parthenogenesis. Here you can see that here is the queen honeybee that form the egg cells, right? Because it is female, so it forms the egg cells. If the egg cell is fertilized, then they form the female offspring. But if it will remain unfertilized, okay, so it will form the male offspring. There is one term for male offspring, that is drone and worker or the queen, right? Here you can see that In the formation of the female offspring, there is the event called the fertilization involved. So it is the diploid 2n, because the egg cell and sperm cell will fuse. There is egg cell is N, sperm cell is N, and so the fertilized egg is diploid, right? But here you can see the process of parthenogenesis, that a queen release the unfertilized egg, that is haploid, because there is no involvement of the fusion of gametes, that is the fertilization. So it will undergo the developmental process, and it will form the male gamete. Male gamete is known as the drone. Okay, are you clear with this? Okay guys, so let's move further. Oh, this you know that there are the two types of fertilization. That one is the internal fertilization and second is the external fertilization. So what are these internal or external fertilization? If the event of fertilization or syngamy, that is the fusion of two gametes, it is sperm and this is male gamete and this is egg, that is the female gamete, if they fuse and form zygote. Here the process of fusion, if these fusion process occur in the body of female organism, like in human, that the sperms are entered in the female body, then it goes to the oviduct and then they fuse. Okay, and if we are talking about the pollination process in plants, then the pollen grains comes from the male plant and then it will go on the stigma, and then they go into the pollen tube and then they enter into the ovule, that is inside the ovary, and then there is one egg cell and fertilization occur in the female flower, female reproductive structure, that is pistil, right? So these type of fertilization is called the internal fertilization, in which the fusion of the male and female gametes occurs in the female reproductive system, that is located in the female body, right? So now there are some examples for the internal fertilization, that the many terrestrial organisms belonging to fungi, higher animals such as reptiles, birds, mammals, and majority of plants like the bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm, right? Syngamy occurs inside the body of organism, hence the process is called the internal fertilization. And now we are talking about the external fertilization, opposite to it and very easy. Internal means inside the body, so now the external means the outside the body of organism. So here you can tell that the fusion of male and female gametes occurs the outside the body of female, right? And you already learnt about the frogs in your lower standards, that it shows the external fertilization. And also in most aquatic organisms such as a majority of algae and fishes as well as the amphibians, syngamy occurs in the external medium. Generally this medium is the water, right? Okay, so this type of gametic fusion is called the external fertilization. So let's move further. Here are the some you can see here in this figure that the female fish release ova, that is the egg cells, right? Plural form of ova. And here the male organism, male fish release the sperm cells. So the fertilization is external, outside the body, not in the female body. But here you can see that in second figure that these testes have the sperm tubules that release the sperm in the ovarian tube, that and then the sperms enter into the ovary, right? So these type of fertilization is called the external fertilization, right? Okay. You can see that there is a difference given between the external fertilization and the internal fertilization. That in first, syngamy occurs in the external medium, I already told you, while in internal fertilization syngamy occur in the female body. Second, there is a great synchrony between the sexes, that the very well development of the both sexes. So the external fertilization, while and they can form the egg and the sperm cells, while in the internal fertilization there is egg cell from inside the body, while the male gametes from the outside the body. Male gametes are motile generally, female gametes are non-motile, like that way, while in the external fertilization both are formed exactly that so that they can fuse outside the organism's body. In the third, organisms release a large number of gametes into the surrounding medium, right? While in the internal, sperm produced is very large, there is a significant reduction in the number of eggs. Disadvantage, vulnerable to predators, while in the internal there is an advantage, vulnerability is decreases, and examples are given. So you can easily understand this. Fertilization is over. Okay, so now we will move further. There is the formation of zygote and all. So the post fertilization events in the sexual reproduction after the formation of zygote are called the post fertilization event, right? The formation of zygote is in the fertilization event. The post fertilization events, you have to understand that in the fertilization event there is already here I put a blank slide because I want to show something, that in the fertilization event what is there is the fusion of two gametes and the formation of zygote. Till this the event is called the fertilization event. But now as the zygote form, it is a diploid, right? Because it is n haploid, so it is the diploid, it is zygote. Now what are the events that is in the development of the zygote? Now how the zygote development occurs in different organisms, right? Because some organisms have the haploid body, some organisms have the diploid body, and the zygote is already diploid. Okay, so how there are the many processes which involve in the development of the zygote. So what are these processes? First, you have to understand that the formation of the diploid zygote is universal in all sexually reproducing organisms, right? In organisms with the external fertilization, that is outside the body, zygote is formed in the external medium, that is maybe water. Zygote will form in the water and all in the external fertilization. While in the internal fertilization, zygote is formed inside the mother body, right? Female body, or you can say mother body, zygote will form inside the mother body, while in the external it is in the specific medium. Okay, now further, how the various types of development is in the zygote, that if the organism is the haploid organism, right? Because zygote is diploid, 2n cell, but the organism is haploid and it forms the haplontic body, that is the organism. But if you remember that how there is one process by which the 2n cell can undergo the n. What is that process? I already told you in my previous lecture, or you already studied in your class 11, chapter number 10. Yes, right, very good. That is the process of meiosis, in which the zygote undergo the process of meiosis, in which the 2n zygote undergo the meiotic cell division and it forms the haploid body, haploid spores. And now these spores undergo the development and it will form the haploid individual. So this process is the development of the haploid organism, in which zygote undergoes the meiotic cell division, not a mitotic cell division, meiotic cell division, and it forms the haploid spores. And then these haploid spores will undergo the developmental process and it will form the haploid individuals. And you can collect some examples of the haploid organisms, right, in from your chapter 11th book. Okay, now if the organism is diploid, okay, if the organism is diploid, that means the zygote is 2n, organism is 2n, right? So here which process involves? Okay, very good, the process of mitosis, right? Mitosis process, in which the 2n cell will undergo the mitotic cell division and can form the 2n organism. Okay, so here the two way for the haploid body formation, there is zygote undergo the meiotic cell division, and if the organism is 2n, also the diploid, then zygote will undergo the mitotic cell division. Okay, are you able to understand this? Okay, very good. Let's move ahead. That the process of embryogenesis. What is embryogenesis? The process of the development of the embryo from the zygote is called the embryogenesis. Okay, so what is embryo? Here the zygote, now the zygote is undergo the meiotic cell division and it will form the mass of cells, and this mass of cell is called the embryo. If you have remembered that in plants you studied that the embryo will form after the fusion of the male gametes from the pollen grains and the egg cells, that is egg cell that is present in the ovule, and there is the formation of embryo, and then from the embryo there is the formation of the shoot and root, right? Root will form from the radicle and the shoot will form from the plumule, right? So here the formation of the embryo, this process is called the embryogenesis. Okay, during embryogenesis zygote will undergo the cell division and cell differentiation also. What is cell differentiation? Here the two processes involved. One is the cell division, that these cell divide and form many cells. This process is called the cell division. But what is the cell differentiation process? As I want to give one example, that in your 10th standard you studied all the subject and then you undergo the process of the cell differentiation, in which you choose a specific subject, that is the B group, biology, and then you further go and then you further differentiate and become a doctor, in which there are so many specialization, right? So these process for acquiring a specific function, these process is called as differentiation, right? It is very easy to understand. Here the zygote undergo the two processes that, in which one is the cell division and second is the cell differentiation. So now the cells are undergo the process in which the cells acquire a specific function. These process is called the cell differentiation. Here you can see that the zygote undergo the cell division, that is the mitosis, then the cell differentiation, then the specialized tissue and the organ and the organism, right? Organ, then organ system, organism. Okay? Okay, done. So this is the process of the embryogenesis, right? Here in this slide, what is this? Oviparous and viviparous organism. It is very easy, and you know that. What are the oviparous organisms? That lay fertilized or unfertile eggs outside the body, while the viviparous animals give birth to young ones, that are the viviparous animals. Animals are categorized into oviparous and viviparous based on whether the development of zygote takes place outside the body, outside the female body, or inside the female body. Okay, in oviparous animals, zygote development is outside the body, right? And in viviparous animal, the zygote development is inside the body, right? There are some examples, and you know that there are so many examples of oviparous animals like the reptiles and the birds, right? And the viviparous animals, for example, human, that gives the birth of young ones, right? In oviparous animals, you know that the fertilized egg, that is the zygote, you can tell, covered by the hard calcareous shell. Why they are covered with the hard calcareous cell? Because the fertilized egg is outside the body, so there are many chances to damage it. So they are covered with the hard covering that is made up of calcium. Right? So it provides the protection to that fertilized egg. Okay? So in oviparous animal, you have to remember this. While in viviparous animal, what you have to remember, and you know that the viviparous animals, the zygote develops into a young one inside the female body, right? After attaining a certain stage of growth, the young ones are delivered out of the body of the female organism, right? Because of the proper embryonic care and protection, the chances of survival of young one is greater in the viviparous animal, that I already told you in the previous slides, right? In this slide I already told you. Okay, so you can understand easily that the oviparous animals, look here, it is very sweet and looking pretty that it releases egg outside the body, right? And these are the viviparous animals. Nice pictures. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, now if we are talking about the flowering plants, you can see here that one is here, it is a unisexual or bisexual flower, guys. It is bisexual flower because it has the stamen and in center pistil also. So stamen have the anther and filament. The stamen produce the here the stamen, it has the anther, it produces the pollen grain. Now this pollen grain attached to the stigma, and the pollen tube forms from this style, and these male gametes enter inside the ovule, right? There are there are egg cells present. Here you can see that here is the egg cell, right? Now the formation of fusion of the sperm and the egg cell here, and now here the formation of the zygote, and the zygote further form the embryo. Here you can see that embryo is written, right? So after the fusion of the sperm and the egg cell, they form the zygote, and zygote will further differentiate to form the embryo. Okay, so the zygote is formed inside the ovule. After the fertilization, the sepals, petals, and the stamens of the flower fall off, and the pistil is remain attached to the flower. Okay, now after the fertilization in plant, here I will write that after the fertilization, that is the formation of zygote. Here I draw the ovary portion of the pistil. Here the fusion of the egg and the sperm cells and the formation of the zygote. Zygote undergo the cell division and differentiation and form embryo, right? Embryo. And then the ovule that is present inside the ovary, ovule will undergo the formation, ovule will undergo the differentiation and form the seed, and ovary will form the fruit, and the wall of ovary will form the pericarp, that is the protective thick wall layered, right? Okay, you have to remember that. Zygote will form the embryo, and then the ovule will form the seed, and the ovary will form the fruit, and the wall of ovary will form the thick wall structure that is called the pericarp. The function of the pericarp is the protective function, right? Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope guys you can clear your concepts and easily understand. Now I recommend you to after watching this video, go through the textbook and read line to line, so you can understand and clear your concepts that what is the process of fertilization, parthenogenesis, examples, story of honeybee. That is not given in textbook, but I include you because it will help in clearing your concepts about the parthenogenesis, because in class 11 you studied the parthenogenesis about the fruits, and now in the organisms the term parthenogenesis, there are the two types of fertilization, what are their internal and external, then the examples, then the difference between the internal external fertilization. Okay, then the process of the formation of zygote, then the embryogenesis, then the oviparous and viviparous animals, right? The fertilized eggs are covered by the hard calcareous shell which lay in a safe place. You can read these things, then this picture, and then if we are talking about the flowering plants, then you can understand this. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much guys for watching this video.